Hi, this is Jennifer from Positively Learning. I'm so glad that you're joining me. Today is a quick video showing you this communication kit that I created to use with on my caseload. Now, it is designed to improve communication, but it's also a huge time-saving hack, and I will show you how. I'm going to open it up and show you exactly what's inside. It is in my TPT store. I'll be sure to link it. I would also like to write a blog post. So if you have any questions or comments, things you want to see uh, hear more clarity on, please let me know because I will be sure to include that in the blog post. This set of parent family letters is also included in the large bundle. So if you have that, you already own this. Okay, so really quick background. For my role as a special educator and a caseload manager, I had to fill out third-party billing with the district every month. It was a way for them to like claim their funding, I think. And it was kind of a pain because although there are families we're communicating with every single day, to fill out this third party billing, it had to be a certain type of communication and really evidence of that communication. So, for example, if I was sending home an IEP progress report, that counted. If we had a meeting, whether it's on Zoom, on phone, in person, that counted. But there were a few months where we just didn't have anything. I would have a phone call, I would have it in person, but that did not count for the documentation, although we know it's really important, right? So I created these letters to, number one, fill in my third party billing, and number two, also make sure I am communicating with those families, especially the families that are just a little bit tricky to get a hold of. Okay, so let me open up the kit for you and show you how you can use it with families on your caseload. Okay, it downloads as a zip file, and what you're going to see is a caseload roster, like a log to keep track. You're going to see the monthly parent letters, and you're going to see the third-party billing communication. If you do not do third-party billing, I'm still going to show this to you because I think you're going to be able to use it. And if you don't have to do third-party billing, just consider yourself lucky. Very, very lucky. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the family letters. The family letters are pre-written in PowerPoint. So once you click that yellow bar, Enable Editing, you can actually cut and paste. You can borrow some of my words, add in new words. You can do whatever you want, whatever it makes easy. Okay, the first page gives you a little bit of background of why I created those letters, which I've already said. I used a font that comes in PowerPoint. I use Century Gothic, so you can change the font or it should be as is. You could just hit print if you want. Okay, and then here's the type of communication that's included in this packet. Everything in bold under the communication column is included, and the italics that are not bold are the things that we already had in place, like we send home IEP report cards counted for the monthly communication. I know you're communicating way more than once a month, but just in case, it's a bit tricky, you're not hearing back from families, this is kind of a way to like make sure you're in that constant communication. All right, so let me show you what the letters look like. This is an example of the letter I sent home right in August. August, September, whenever you go back. And it's just as kind of introducing myself. This is not the same thing as like a meet the teacher, meet and greet, back to school night. This is more of a chance to have in writing your communication, like your email, your phone number, the office phone number, best way to reach you, your name. All right, so that letter is written for you. Again, this is in PowerPoint, so you can just delete, you can highlight, you can switch it around, you can add more, you can make it your own. The next set of letters, I'm going to go back up to here, are different types of newsletters. And these are kind of like newsletter blurbs. And I have a reading one, a math one, and then letters that can go home right before break, like winter break, spring break, and the summer, like goodbye letter. All right, so let me just show you quickly. I'm going to go ahead and put this into a slideshow so that you can just see it. All right, so it starts off with a little bit of background information and table of contents, and then here is like your cheat sheet to print out. Now, when we did third-party billing, we actually had to file the evidence of the letters. So I would be filing a attendance sheet for an IEP meeting as a form of communication if there was a meeting that month. I would be filing the one page, like cover page, or well, no, I think we had to do the actual IEP report cards from the system. Those had to be filed. I also had the letters. And so I would print a stack of these letters. I wouldn't actually like make a copy of each individual letter that I sent home before I sent it. I would just send it home, but I would have a stack of these letters that I could file at the end for our like end of year filing party that we did. It just made it so much faster. Okay, so here's our welcome back letter. And here is the reading support letter. Now, of course, this might not apply to everything you're doing, but hopefully it does, and at least you can adjust it so it would make sense for your families. And what great information. It's basically talking about things that we can do outside of school in the real world that can still go towards practicing and progress monitoring our goals and objectives. Okay, here's the math one. Lots of different ideas. And then here's the breaks: winter break, spring break, summer break. There are some things, it's like a kind of like a cover page that you can send home with anything else that you're sending home with them. Then we also did an IEP progress report. The reason we did this as a school is the online system that our state used did not send home very family friendly progress reports. In fact, I would go in them and like you couldn't make the font any bigger. It was like 8-point font. I would want to highlight them, right? So I would still send them home because that was a requirement. But this cover sheet was a kind of I could cut and paste or just hand write. And then like the notes could be like, see the progress report statement or whatever. You don't have to use this, but it's there if you want. All right, so those are the parent letters. Now let me show you the rosters. Okay, so the caseload roster is also in a PowerPoint. So it's not editable as far as changing what's on the page, but it is editable as far as adding a text box and typing into it, or of course you could just print it out and keep it. So I'm gonna hit the enable editing and just put this into slideshow to show you. Very simple, but it's a great way to keep track of. All right, so from the beginning, I have some very simple rosters, and here's some different ways you can use them. Of course, once you put your students' names in them, you can make a ton of copies and just use them for field trips, checklists, meetings, of course, the communication that we're talking about, sending home their report cards, finishing their report cards. You can use these checklists for anything. So if I had my students' initials, let me show you, in one of the columns, like the left-hand column, and then the right-hand column could be like what it was for, and then the right-hand column, I hope I said that correctly. The middle column is what it's for, the right-hand column is for check off, like complete, I can initial. All right, and then here's just a little bit more complicated one that gives you a little bit more room to type into. And here's one that has the 4 quarters. So you'd put names in the left-hand column. This could be quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be perfect for progress reports. And then here are many more options: student name, student or whatever you want it to have over there, family communication, and then you could check it off that it's done. All right, so super simple. That's included if you want to use that. Many schools will already have some type of online communication log that you're required to use. So this is here just in case. And then the last one, again, third-party billing was unique to my district. Hopefully you don't have to do it, but just in case, I explained a little bit about what it was, but then I want to show you how you can use this as well. So the first roster is for third-party billing. If you don't do it, you can ignore it. But you can see that I have a column for student names, and then I have a beginning letter for each month of the school year, and then initials that it's done. This is a lifesaver, especially when you're doing filing, that I can say, oh, I've filed August, September, October, November, and so on. That can help me keep track. But you may not do third-party billing, so you can use this as a communication log. Now, sounds kind of funny to have this. These are very small little boxes, but you can make tally marks of how many times you are communicating. Again, sounds kind of strange to do, but some families we know, we're just not communicating that much. So maybe I have Jen right here and I'm talking to her mom or caregiver twice a day. But then I have Ron over here. And you know what? For the whole month of September, there's no tally marks. I wasn't able to reach Ron's family at all. So this is kind of an overview that can highlight like some of those areas to work on and to make sure that you're sending that letter home some type of communication, making that phone call, so on. And then the last one's just a blank one. You can use that for paperwork filing, anything, progress monitoring. Definitely, you can use it for whatever you want. All right, that is all included in this very concise $3 packet. You get all of that in there. I like to refer to these as swipe files because you can just swipe the things I've given you, use it, change it, whatever you want. And again, it is also included in large bundle. So if you have that, you've already got it. Maybe you kind of didn't open this file yet because there's a lot in there. Or if you have opened it, you weren't exactly sure like what those were all for. You saw third-party billing saying that doesn't apply to me, but there's also some great other ways you can use it. All right, thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions and keep your eyes out for that blog post. Appreciate it.